What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today we're going to talk about this brand new album from Conway the Machine and Big Ghost entitled What Has Been Blessed Cannot Be Cursed. So this is the third collaborative project from Conway the Machine and Big Ghost Ltd. In 2020, they had blessed us with No One Mourns the Wicked, and now it's followed up by If It Bleeds, It Can Be Killed from 2021. Now, earlier in the year, Conway had released his highly anticipated major label debut, God Don't Make Mistakes, which had received fairly positive reviews. It wasn't my personal favorite from his discography, but it was an important release for his career nonetheless. But getting right into this brand new one with Big Ghost. Once again, the ever elusive Big Ghost is behind the boards for all 10 tracks. As far as features are concerned, Conway kept it mostly in-house with drum work artists like Shots, SK, Goose, J Skis, and Love the Genius. The only outside feature was Method Man. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. This thing kicks off with the track Salutations, where we get a tense and gutter instrumental. It just sets it off in a pretty ominous way. Before his verse even begins, he repeats, "It's drum work, bitch." On his opening bars, he states, "We living in unfortunate times. Before I recorded a line, I snorted a line." So I definitely didn't expect to hear the snorting a line part from Conway. You know, admitting to snorting coke isn't as talked about all too frequently from rappers, unless it's been like 3 6 Mafia and maybe some others. But he does mention it again at least 2 more times on this project, which is a little strange, you know, slightly disturbing. It's hopefully not a new phase for Conway, but if it is, hopefully he can just get back to sticking to trees and liquor. He also raps, "I spit it for the real dudes if you solid, salutations." So all in all, it was a dope opener where he was putting on for drum work in a menacing way. Track 2, It's Green Light, is luxurious but also haunting. The pianos and harp give it a rich and dreamy quality, but it's offset by an eerie vocal harmony. Conway raps, "My dude Nickel told me that's a ridiculous pen. No matter what, don't let these dudes switch up your zen." So here he's talking about how he got props from Royce the 5'9" for being silly with the bars, which I thought was cool. There's also talk of Conway giving his shooters the green light to run down on you. And of course, what would a Conway album be without referencing the young shooters on deck? But actually though, in real life, as an OG, you'd probably want to get those kids off the block instead of having them do the drilling. But yeah, altogether, I thought this record was all right on paper. I probably should have loved this instrumental, but for some reason I didn't. It was a solid enough song nonetheless. Track 3 is Bodhi Bratis, which is named after one of the characters from The Wire. Now here we are getting something a bit more polished and atmospheric from Big Ghost. The production here is smooth and glossier than anything he has given the machine yet, but it worked. Conway raps, "Snort a big line from off the dresser. I'm a main source of the culture. I'm large professor, the one that every major label want to get next to, and that's just from recording the pressure." So I dug the main source, large professor line, but I could have done without the snorting of the line part. What is going on, Conway? The following track, In My Soul, takes on a darker and moodier tone instrumentally. The psychedelic guitar riff is a nice feature. Now this track features J Skis, who recently did an EP with Big Ghost that was dope, but I never got around to reviewing it. On here, the two talk about being on point and having to keep their heads on a swivel at all times, now probably more than ever. And it's not like you even have to be in the craziest parts of the hood for things to pop off, but obviously being a rapper is one of the most dangerous professions at the moment. I dug J Skis' following lines. "So like barber shit, I keep my guard up, and drive-bys I think of the past. Now they doing walk-ups." The hook is pretty chilling too, as Conway talks about the days getting darker and the nights getting colder, and how he feels people want him gone. He can just feel it in his soul. And I did like how Conway switched up his rhyme scheme throughout the verse. The following lines were cool. I get these big ghost beats and I dance on them with skis and I manslaughter MCs. My man caught up. He was a transporter of keys. Now he in the feds until his granddaughter a teen. Overall, I'd say this is one of the more standout songs from the project. Next is YBCM, which stands for Yo Bitch Chose Me. It's set to a brighter instrumental with pianos and a soulful vocal harmony. Conway has a dope first verse where he glides effortlessly over this smooth Big Ghost instrumental. I thought the following line was a little humorous. Your OG is a low-key sex offender. Then there are some Snoop Dogg vocal scratches at the end, courtesy of D Styles from off that Doggy Style intro. You know the rules of the game. Yo, bitch chose me. Track 6, Why You Ain't Move On Me, has a suspenseful and cinematic beat. It was kind of giving off some Tarantino vibes. On this record, Conway taunts his haters and his enemies by saying, if you don't like me, why ain't you move on me? There are some Fat Joe vocal scratches towards the end, which were a nice touch, but as a whole, I view this track to be just serviceable, nothing too stand out. However, the subsequent song, Sunday Sermon with Jay Skis, is a highlight. I like the psychedelic gospel sample, which sounded pretty obscure and haunting. Jay Skis and Conway do a dope back and forth, really flexing their drum work chemistry on this record. Conway has some dope bars, but I felt Jay Skis' performance was a bit stronger. But yeah, Sunday Sermon was one of the ones that I found to be ear-grabbing from the jump. Right after is Scared to Death featuring Method Man. This is their follow-up to Lemon from 2020, which was easily one of the best songs from that year. Do I think this particular collaboration is as potent as Lemon was? No, I do not, but it's still a cool track from this album. So I didn't particularly love Conway's verse here, to keep it a buck, as I felt it was a bit all over the place and not the most focused, but I really liked Meth's verse, and I enjoyed the ghostly boom bap beat and of course the Prodigy scratches. So yeah, I expected a bit more from this track, but it was still dope, if that makes any sense. Clearly though, Method Man was the MVP of this song. The last actual track is the posse cut Big Drum, which features the following drum work artists: Goose, Shots, SK, Jay Skis, and Love the Genius. It has a gritty beat that builds as it progresses. I found the piano arpeggio at the end to be spectacular. It was so good that I almost wished it could have been a separate beat for Conway. But yeah, this one was a complete Barfest. While everyone did their thing, I felt that Jay Skis, Love the Genius, and Conway had the best verses and flows. Jay Skis really put the whole upstate New York movement into perspective with the following bars. And Buffalo is up now. Griselda was the catalyst. Black Soprano family holds the keys. Drum work, we came to shackle shit. Then the project comes to a close with Dog Food Outro, featuring some spoken word from Lukey Cage. Overall, I give this album a rating of 3.5 mics. I suppose you could say they are 3 for 3, but it is my least favorite out of the series. Who knows? Maybe it'll grow on me more as the year ends. Don't get me wrong, it is a solid and consistent project from these two, but I have higher standards when it comes to Conway albums, and this one didn't blow me away as much as some of the moments from their first and second collaborations. At times, I found Conway's delivery to be a bit sluggish and sloppy on this project compared to his performances on God Don't Make Mistakes and his mixtape that dropped right before that album. Conway has the illest flow and wittiest bars out of the Griselda trio, no question, but I felt like he was going through the motions on this album. He definitely said some hard shit, but overall his performance wasn't as captivating. As far as Big Ghost production, it was mostly good to great. I didn't find some of the instrumentals to be nearly as striking as past efforts, but nothing was whack. I'm sure I'm going to be in the minority here for not giving this thing a 4 or higher, but I'm just not quite there with this project, and I don't know if I'll ever be. But at the end of the day, it's still drum work, bitch. My favorite tracks include Salutations, Bodhi Bratis, In My Soul, Sunday Sermon, and Big Drum. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Conway the Machine, Big Ghost. What has been blessed cannot be cursed. One.